Project Management Systems, or PMS, for SAP projects. In this video, you'll be introduced to what a project management system, or PMS, is, why it is important, and how a PMS can support you becoming a successful SAP project manager. The video is divided into the following topics. What is a project management system, PMS? Why is having a PMS important? How can a PMS be established? Our experience with using a PMS. Let's have a look first at what is a project management system. A PMS system, or project management software, is a term used to refer to a framework that supports the PM in managing of a project, or it can support the PM in managing of a project. Commercial project management software solutions, project management systems, has been available ever since the early 70s, supporting a wide range of different projects. Each PMS tool have their own pros and cons, from price to functionality to industry-specific systems or industry tailor-made solutions, which will focus on a specific type of projects or running projects in a specific industry. But what is it actually the PMS needs to do? The PMS needs to do or support planning. That means support different work breakdown structures and internal dependencies. So all the aspects about planning. There's more than just the VBS. It have to support estimating, support detailed and multiple estimates throughout the project. It has to support scheduling, meaning effective usage of resources and support resource allocation. It has to support reporting, meaning support reporting such as effectiveness measures and historical data, exception notes, etc. Keep track of everything that is happening. And also in relation to keeping track, controlling, so provide controlling data and controlling reports. That can be financial controlling, schedule controlling, it can be different, all the aspects of controlling. So with those 5 areas, the PMS system will then allow you to ensure everything is documented, and it will aid you in the communication. And all of this you see here, the 5 disciplines, the output, that is documentation, communication, it is all part of the core duty of the project manager. So naturally, having a system which can provide some automated support for these 5 areas would be a great benefit to the project manager. And this brings us to the next question: why is having a PMS important? Well, the objective of any PMS system is to support the project manager. That means proactive rather than reactive. Understand in this way that the project manager needs to be proactive rather than reactive. And for him to be that, he needs a tool, some processes that can support him in achieving that. So basically, with the PM focusing on being proactive, that means he can take care of issues before they become real problems, or before they become critical issues. He can focus on people management. Do we have the right team to succeed? He can focus on stakeholder management, which in previous lessons we discussed was the core duty of the PM to become a future project manager, a successful project manager of the future. And all of this requires the PM to be proactive rather than reactive. And for that, he needs a tool, he needs some support that will allow him to get from the behind, on the back of the pack, into the front. Now, it all sounds great, but how can we establish a project management system? Well, you can purchase a commercial available PMS. There's a number of these. You just need to search for project management system or project management software, and you will see there's a number of vendors that have products, and those products can either be as a software you purchase and install, or it can be that it is provided as a service from a cloud service which you subscribe to. It can also be, depending on the nature of your project, that you request your partner, implementation partner or vendor, to provide this as part of them delivering a certain project service to you. So if the vendor is going to run your project office, they might as well provide you with a tool that fits your requirement. And lastly, you can decide to build your own, which is not something I've seen much of and not something I recommend. There is a lot of good solutions available, which is preferred to make use of. So if you on a project come across, what about the PMS, what about the project management system, the project management software, as if you wish, what about that? Then you need to look at first what is the requirements that we have for such. And that brings us to our experience with using a project management system. Well, number one, be very precise what exactly is it you need. Don't try to build a Ferrari if you only need a motorcycle. And that brings to the second point here, keep it simple. Otherwise you have the risk of having the world's best the world's best process and tool, but no one will use it because it's either too complicated, too cumbersome, or it is simply too difficult to use, and they're better off doing it, the whatever task they're doing, reporting, planning, scheduling, or whatever it is, manually. So keep it simple. Again, as mentioned, utilize the existing processes and tools you might already have, your team might know, or that you might have available but you haven't used it. Look at what is feasible here. Do I want to introduce a new component into my project, which everything will be dependent on? And in many cases, this is not recommended. Number 4, because it's expensive doesn't make it good. So there's a lot of very high-end solutions that can do a lot of things. And again, if you don't need it, if it's too difficult to use, then find another solution. And if you have a choice between two options, just because the expensive one is more expensive than the other, definitely do not make it the best choice. Likewise, if it's free, then you need to ask yourself, why is it free? And there is free alternatives out there which I have seen used with great benefit, but it requires that you address, how am I going to support it? What if something happens? Because with everything free stuff, there is normally very limited support. So don't rule it out. Consider it. It's a valid option. It can be used successfully. Just because it's free doesn't make it bad, just as the expensive one doesn't necessarily is the best one. So this is some of our experience and lessons learned that we want to share with you in your assessment of what tools, what PMS system software do I need for my project. And lastly, yes, a good PMS can make a difference on your project. It will allow you to be more effective, but it cannot stand alone. It needs people, and you need to have a trained group of people who knows what tool you're using, how to use it, and why you're using it. Otherwise, you will be better off not having it. With that said, we want to wrap this lessons up and do a summary. So you should now have an understanding of what a project management system is, why is a PMS important, how you can establish a PMS, and some of our lessons learned from using a PMS. Like always, we can discuss this topic in much more detail in the forum, where we'll be available to discuss whatever questions you might have, and we can help guide you in the right direction, what PMS system is right for your project.